I may wait to see if anybody shows up for this before I start launching into what I'm going to discuss today, just so I don't have to like repeat myself a couple of times. Suffice it to say, this will not be my normal content. There's no readings happening here, at least not yet. If my guides tell me to pull some cards, we'll pull some cards. But I just need to process some stuff with y'all. I need to get some stuff off my chest, share some important feelings, important information. And hopefully by the end of this live, I've lit a fire under some of y'all's butts. It's a friendly fire, just so we're clear. I'm not coming at y'all aggressive. I'm not coming at you all mad, not at you. I shouldn't say that I'm not mad, because there's definitely some sacred rage underneath the grief that I am currently swimming in. Hi, Christine. Let me grab some water, because I'm going to need to hydrate. While I do this, please ignore my unmade bed. My cat is sleeping on it, and I don't want to disturb her. I want a soda. I think I want something with sugar in it. Sugar is awesome in times like this. Yes, God. I discovered that Costco sells these big old crates of Izzy's, and I have like one a day. I limit myself to one a day. But right now, we need some fruit sugar. Hi, Metro. So again, as you guys are coming in, and I'll probably reiterate this more and more if people show up. This is not a normal live. I will not be pulling cards for you. I will not be. This is something I need to process. This is something I need to get off my chest. If you guys don't want to stick around, please do anyway. I know that some of y'all are just here for the content, and I get that. That's what you're all are paying for, but I need your attention. I need everyone's attention right now. It's really important, because I don't know if y'all know this. I don't know if y'all know this, those of you in the United States, and even those of you outside the United States, fascism is on the rise. It's on the rise. It's steadily climbing. We've been seeing this coming, for a while. Those of us that have been paying attention have known that it's been happening over time. We took that big hit with Roe v. Wade last year, and they're not stopping. Right now, I believe there are something like over 300 bills or proposed laws in various state legislatures that very specifically target the trans and non-binary communities and queer communities across the United States. The reason I haven't spoken up against this in the way that I am sooner is because I don't think well, two things. One, I've been in a state of denial about it. I'm going to start crying. Fuck. This might be an emotional one for me, you guys. It hasn't started. It's in its middle stages right now, because they're legislating fascism. That we're at that stage now, right? And anyone who's studied World War II and Nazi Germany, this is textbook. We know where this ends up. We know where this ends. We've seen it before. So like, this is kind of a history repeating itself situation. I've been in denial about it. I think I've just been in denial at the severity of it. There was a part of me that's like, oh, this is just the last breath of a dying ghoul, because a lot of these folks who are doing this are like in the minority of the people in this country. These are Christo-fascists. These are not religious people. These are power-hungry fascists. They're murderous. They have ill intent. They have violence on the brain. And that's where I think I was kind of trying to create a boundary between I try to stay cautiously optimistic with a lot of stuff while staying grounded. I took a week off of TikTok when I was in San Diego, kind of a week off of social media in general, because I was busy with my friend. And it turns out when I'm like happy and in a social place, I'm not on social media all the time, because I have real life to, live. I come back and I got on TikTok for the first time in a week last night. And my For You page is just full of trans, queer, non-binary grief. In Tennessee, they have mandated it that drag performances are illegal. They're now, you are not allowed to present in drag in the name of protecting children. Now, what this leads to, those of you who are in the cis het community and don't understand like the fucking nuance of this, and I'm not trying to come for you, but y'all need to wake up, because this is something that will eventually end up affecting everybody, no matter where you are in the gender spectrum, sexuality. It's going to affect everybody. Okay. They're coming for you too. Okay. They're coming for all of us. If you're following me, if you're a patron, a member of they're coming for you as well. That's why I need all of your attention right now. Those of us who present as non-binary, as trans in Tennessee are at risk of being arrested and given a felony for just existing. Because say that there's somebody who, say I go out and I have like a fine mustache and I'm wearing like, boots and like I'm dressed a little bit more butch than normal. I could be arrested just for fucking existing. That's how bad this has gotten. This is not hyperbole. I think Missouri, I think there's some stuff going on in Mississippi. There's also Jim Crow laws coming back in Mississippi. Y'all, Jim Crow is back. That's legitimately happening. I feel like ill right now talking about this. They're coming for us. So what I need y'all to do, particularly those of you who identify as straight, cisgendered, and hetero, right? Straight and hetero statement. I need you to speak up, especially if you have a platform, especially if you are somebody with any kind of platform on social media. If you don't, this looks like talking to your friends and family. This looks like talking to people in your places of faith. This looks like going to town hall meetings and raising a fucking shitstorm. Because currently the only people I'm seeing on my For You page talking about this are trans, queer, and non-binary creators. And I did put a post out, like I made a TikTok, like basically begging folks the same thing that I'm begging you. It's like, if you have a platform and you're straight and sit, like, we need your voice, like we need your help. This is something that the Black community has been asking white folks to do since forever. Okay. And there's been a lot of I get it, from a sociological perspective, I understand it, because if it's not your in-group, it doesn't affect you as much. There's more of a distance between it. So sociologically, psychologically, some of this makes sense, but there is enough information out there, enough education, and there's been enough of an awakening in the human race for us to stop hiding behind this perceived privilege that this shit isn't going to affect us. That's where my denial was taking me, because I have the privilege. I can be, if I want to be, straight and cis passing, which is a privilege, and I have white privilege. I'm very aware of both those things. So I'm a little bit less concerned for my own personal safety than I am for a lot of my trans siblings and queer siblings who do not have those same privileges that I do. I can tell you that yesterday I went to the gym, and I live in a MAGA. My town is MAGA. There are MAGA bumper stickers everywhere. There are thin blue line stickers everywhere. There are shirts with, the fucking Confederate flag that people are wearing at this gym. Okay, so this is where I live. And I've been nervous going to this gym since I started, because I cut my hair really short. And I don't know if you guys notice this, but when I'm not wearing makeup, I do present a little bit more butch. So like I look pretty gay, is what I'm trying to say. And I am pretty gay. So, if the shoe fits. Yesterday, I went in a tank top because it was kind of like warmer outside. I don't shave under my arms. And I was nervous about that. And I just want to offer this. It was the first time I've been at that gym where anybody has given me any attention whatsoever, that anyone has looked at me, because I was lifting weights and they could see that I didn't shave my arms. And I got at least 3 or 4 stares at this gym. So again, I'm not as concerned for myself, because if I have to protect myself by putting on makeup every day and either growing my hair out or getting a wig so I look a little bit more feminine, I can do that. Not everybody has this privilege, and I am not on HRT, so I don't have the threat of my medical care being taken away currently, but thousands, millions of others do. Now, when I ask this question, I've asked before for my straight cis friends and family and patrons and people who subscribe to me for help. That the last time I did this was during that awful shooting in Colorado, when a bunch of queer and trans people were gunned down just for existing, for dancing. And I got a whole lot of hearts. I got a whole lot of prayer hands from my friends who are straight and cis. I didn't see one of you speaking up about it. And I'm getting the same thing now. I put out 2 posts, like being, or 1 post really more specifically, where it's like, we need your help. We need you to speak up. We need your voice. And all I've received from anybody, and I love you guys, like I'm saying this with love. All I've received from any of you guys is the hearts and the, oh yeah, I have a non-binary friend, I'm worried about them. No, I want more than that. If you want to be an ally, it's inconvenient sometimes to be an ally. You have to get real uncomfortable and sit with the fact that allyship means you are actually linked with the cause. People who say they're allies half the time are just there in spirit. That's a thoughts and prayers version of allyship. Because I think the fear is like, if I actually get in this fight, will I be targeted? Yeah, probably. That's what being an ally is. We are at war. This is a cultural warfare, and it's going to turn into legitimate warfare unless we band together and unless everybody takes this fight to them. And this isn't just a fight for trans folks. It's a fight for Black folks. It's a fight for the entire BIPOC community. It's a fight for women. It's a fight for anyone who isn't a straight, white, cis, hetero Christian male. Because that's what's getting legislated right now. Christofascism is getting legislated. So it will be legal for them to put us away. So I don't know if I have much else to say. I'm freaked out. Most of my friends, my dearest friends, are queer and trans. And I'm worried. I'm like sick to my stomach. Like last night I couldn't sleep. I had ice cold fear running through my body. And the only other time I felt that was during when Roe v. Wade got overturned, because it was, again, the fascists are coming, the fascists are coming, the fascists are coming. And they're here. They've been here. They're planting their roots. So you guys don't have to answer this right now in the chat, but it would be cool if you did. If you can't think of anything right now, I want you to journal it. This is homework. What are you going to do to prevent a fascist Christo-fascist takeover of the United States? What are you doing? I can give you guys some tips, because I'm still learning. Like, I'm now fully in this fight. Like, again, like I mentioned before at the beginning, I had definitely been in a place of denial about how bad this was getting. It's happening fast. I think that's what's really freaking me out, is how quickly these things are getting passed and legislated. Without anybody fucking saying it. Like somebody was mentioning in Tennessee, like, where the fuck is Dolly Parton? Where the fuck is Miley? Where's Beyonce? Where are all of these famous people with a reach of millions standing up for us? I could get hate crimed. If I need to like help you guys like center in a little bit more on this in a personal way, I want you to just understand that me living in this town now as somebody who presents like this is dangerous for me. I'm not going to start shaving my armpits, but this definitely means that I'm not going to be walking around in tank tops anytime soon anymore, or go to the gym like that. Because again, that was the first, and I've been going to that gym for months. First and only time anyone's looked at me was because of this. I want you to be very careful of anti-trans panic. The best example I can give you right now, there is a creator who I quote often and am mutuals with on TikTok and really respect and adore. Their name is Jeffrey Marsh. They have been targeted multiple times by Fox News, Tucker Carlson, and these fucking ghouls, these fucking fascists, these Nazis, because they are trying to paint them as a child groomer, child predator. They have doctored their videos to make it sound like they're talking to children. I've been following Jeffrey for like 3 years. I have never once seen them be like, hey kids, it's that. I had somebody who follows me on TikTok be like, well, Jeffrey's making it really hard for the no, Jeffrey is not making it hard for the non-binary community. Your transphobia is making it hard for the non-binary community, because you are more concerned about supposed allegations on a non-binary influencer than you are with the Nazis that are passing these laws. Your transphobia is showing. If you know of, Mecha says, if you know of any petitions, articles, literally anything. Currently do not. You can go online. So what I was going to recommend is go onto Instagram and TikTok. If you are on social media, I want you to start following more trans creators of color. You should be doing this anyway. Like this is like, we need to build community here. Your cis privilege is only going to be a shield for you for so long before they come for your ass. So you need to stop like pretending that like you're not in it with us. And this is again what the BIPOC community has been telling white people forever. So it's that poem of like, first they came for this group of people, then they came for this group of people. Now they're coming for this group of people. When do you think they're going to fucking come for you? Start following more trans creators, because they're going to have, there are activists that are way better than I am, that have been in this fight way longer than I have, that will have resources, petitions, showing up at town hall meetings, which I think is probably the most uncomfortable thing someone can do. Like, the idea of that freaks me the fuck out. But I know there are some of you who have the gumption and the chutzpah to be able to do that. I want you to write your senators. I want you to call your senators. I want you to make noise. If there are marches, I want your feet to be on the ground. I want you to be safe. I want you to look up how to protest safely, because protests here are fucking scary. Okay. You need a helmet, you need goggles, you need all kinds of shit. Get armed and ready. I want you to start talking. If that sounds too much, I want you to have conversations with your family members. I want you to have conversations with your friend. I want you to reach out to your queer and trans and non-binary besties. No one messaged me. Not one of my straight friends messaged me after the shooting in Colorado. Not one. Not one straight person who I'm friends with has messaged me about any of this trans legislation to see if I'm okay. And I'm not making it all about me. This is true for everybody in these communities. Y'all need to reach out. Stop being cowards. It is cowardly to shy away from the vulnerability of protecting somebody you care about. It doesn't make you a bad person, but that is cowardly behavior. I've engaged in that behavior before. Like, I'm not trying to target any one person. We're all guilty of it, but this is the awakening, right? This is the ascension. Show up then. Show us what have we learned? What are we doing this for? What are we waking up for? So we can drown under the boots of Nazism and Christo-fascism? Are you fucking serious? No fucking way, man. Aaron says, thank you for the education. I will journal, want more knowledge. I would do better if I was educated better. And why the fuck do you think they're trying to shut down TikTok? Somebody asked that question for me to ask the Galactics, the last live that I did, and they were kind of quiet about it, which made me honestly a little nervous. I think the message they gave us is like, if they shut it down, there are other ways to stay connected. The only thing kind of giving me hope right now is some of the elder folks in the trans community are like, listen, we didn't have legal access to HRT growing up. We didn't have roles and movies. We didn't have the kind of community and the visibility that we do now. Well, if we have to go, it makes me sick to my stomach to even have to say this, but if we have to go underground, we'll go underground. You guys realize how backwards that is? To go back into the closet after like decades of striving towards the sun, like, it's just unfathomable to me. They've been so targeted. They're painting him. Oh, talk about Jeffrey. They're painting him as what he isn't. Literally everything Jeffrey Marsh isn't is what they're painting them to be. Anyone Tucker Carlson targets, you guys know it's full of shit. Like, I don't want people to be other than themselves. No more closets for me. So what else can we do? In a metaphysical sense, start casting spells to protect these communities. I made a sigil. How long ago was it when Roe v. Wade got overturned that I've been meaning to get tattooed on my body? Makes it like, if anything else, because some of the stuff that I'm telling you guys to do is a little ableist, like marching and protest, going to town hall meetings. Not everybody can do that, but you got to do something. And primarily, again, if you have a social media platform and you haven't spoken out against this, silence is death. Silence is violence. It is complacency. That's the word I'm looking for. It's death. Remind people, if you get into arguments with any of your fucking MAGA cousins, if they talk about protecting the children, the number one cause of child death in the United States is fucking guns. Not drag queens, not trans groomers. This is scary, y'all. This is fucking terrifying. Like, I haven't been this scared since Roe v. Wade. And after Roe v. Wade, I don't know, I got a wave of hope. I got this like surge of adrenaline and felt like, you know what, maybe we can fight this. This is different because of how just like fast it's happening, how quickly it's happening, and how much, like, I am just like waiting on my phone for the next news of a fucking queer club getting shot up. of trans creators or people I really care about unaliving themselves because of the bullying and the hate and the threats that they're getting. It's so real. They are calling this, there are some folks in the trans community who are calling this a genocide because that's fucking what it is. Like, if you take away HRT from children and adults who rely on them literally to survive, like, this is not a preference. This is not like a choice, a trendy choice people make. This is about living someone's like literally authentic selves. People are going to take their own lives en masse. That is genocide. That is what they're trying to wipe us out. They said on CPAC that transgenderism needs to be eradicated. That is Nazi talk. They said the same thing about the Jews, and they said the same thing about transvestites. That was the transvestism is what they called it back in Nazi Germany before they started putting everyone to fucking camps. We're like a year away from that, maybe not even. So this is real, and this is why I'm begging you guys to make more noise. And to feel like, again, you guys sending me hearts is sweet and everything. I appreciate that. But what are you actually doing? Your actions will speak way louder than emojis. Okay. Full moon. And I think I chose to do this right now because the full moon is all about releasing shit. So I needed to release this, whatever this is, because this is living in my body and it's making me really fucked up. It's making me fucked up inside. Some of the most beautiful people I've ever known in my life are queer and trans and non-binary people. We're just people. We're just fucking people. We're just trying to live our damn lives. And we've been here forever. We will continue to be here forever. Felix says, as a trans person, it seems cis people would rather not speak up to keep the peace. But their cis counterparts, even when it comes to something like correcting others on pronouns. Absolutely. And this is something that the BIPOC community has been like calling the white community out for decades, if not a century. Well, we just got to can't everybody just get along? I don't see color. I don't see gender. No, that's not it. And I was like in my 20s, before I had any education about any of this stuff, I was absolutely one of those bitches. I thought I was being a good person, and then I learned better. We can all learn better. We can all continue to be better at this. Have I seen Jon Stewart tear apart legislators? I want that man in office. People have been saying it forever. Jon Stewart has a gift for absolutely leveling these fascists, leveling these. Tucker Carlson still won't wear a bow tie after he got eviscerated by Jon Stewart all those years ago. He still won't wear a bow tie. Jon Stewart will leave a scar. That's the kind of allyship I'm talking about from the cis straight community. That Jon Stewart is an ally in every way imaginable, because he's not afraid to take these people on fucking head on in a public setting. Step up. Oh, I love you too, Denise. I recommend our trans babysitter who's amazing, and my kids beg to have him babysit and want us to find something to do. Yeah, connect with, that's another thing. Connect with other trans and non-binary people. We're just fucking people. Don't worry. The pronoun thing, give your guys selves a break about that. Like, I still, will glitch on that sometimes. The pronoun, most folks in the trans community are not going to like lose their shit if you get a pronoun wrong from time to time. Just don't actively misgender somebody. That's an act of hatred. It's an act of transphobia. Don't do that shit. But I catch myself all the time. I have tons of they, them friends that I will sometimes misgender. I just correct myself. It's fine. Don't be afraid of us. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You know what I mean? Like, it's important to sit with the uncomfortable fact that we're ignorant about shit that we don't know and that we don't have lived experience around. I say that as a white person who's been trying to steadily decolonize myself and work on anti-racism for the better part of the past like 12 years. Like, there's still a ton of stuff. I made the mistake. I'm so embarrassed about this. I was giving a reading for this woman. She was beautiful. She was curvy. And I referred to Lizzo as, we're talking about Lizzo because we're talking about the Six of Wands, and I referred to Lizzo as overweight. And as soon as the words came out of my mouth, I was like, oh fuck, that wasn't what I meant to say, but I said it. So another thing I'm working on is fat phobia, because I have had a long history of eating disorders, and that fat phobia is deeply ingrained in me. But we got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Okay. He's aged like fine wine, hasn't he? He's a sassy man. My pronouns are they, them, or she, her. I prefer they, them. She, her is fine. It's not going to freak me out. If you called me he, I probably wouldn't get mad. It's fine. But thank you for asking. Yeah, but Denise, like, the fact that you're open to listening, errors only matter if like you're gonna, not grow with the rest of us. Everybody who follows me, I think, in this Patreon is open to listening and growing. That's why I love you guys. That's why I do this. That's why, like, we connect in the way that we do. And I feel safe here. Like I wanted to take this conversation to TikTok, and I stopped because there's a lot of hate on TikTok right now. Even more, like this is an ongoing attack. I think from the folks in the United States here that want to see us all put down, but also foreign adversaries. Like really since 2016, when we had a Russian puppet installed as president. We have Russian puppets all over the United States. Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of them. Tucker Carlson is one of them. What's his name? Matt Gaetz is one of them. They all have ties to Russian money, and they're all pushing for this stuff. And Russia is a fucking fascist, Christo-fascist state. The politicians there don't believe in democracy. China apparently too. I don't know enough about China to really speak on it. I have a way more experience understanding Russia, going to Russia and almost marrying one than I do about China. So I can't really speak to that. But I just think it's cute that they're using the excuse that like China can get all this information about us and influence our politics. This is why they want to shut down TikTok, apparently, when most of the people who are on TikTok are doing it to learn more shit about really cool things. And, anyway. Whew. Any questions I can answer for you guys? Do more than send heart emojis, please. Please. Okay. Like I'm not as afraid for myself because I have that passing privilege. I have white privilege. And if I need to fuck off to California, it's a 6-hour drive for me. So I can get the fuck out of here if I need to. Not everybody has that fucking privilege. And I'm really, really freaked out for my trans family in Tennessee. I'm really freaked out for my trans family in Missouri. Like all these places that are passing this just appalling shit. I shut down anti-trans bathroom conversations with my family by reminding them that abuse has come from within the family, never in a bathroom with a stranger, let alone a trans person. Thank you. Because facts, education is being targeted as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. Critical thinking is being thrown out the window. And that's where we can step up as allies as well. Like if you start noticing conversations happening with like people or like even like mutuals online, like I had to do that with a mutual of mine on TikTok today. She was going off about Jeffrey Marsh and I made a whole ass video being like, the fuck did you just say? I'm not afraid to call out people I know. I'm not afraid to call any of you guys out either. It will be done with love, but I'm also like not here to play nice when the boot is on our neck. Sitting with that discomfort, right? Scary times, man. Share stuff. Like if you're on TikTok and you see people who are talking about their viewpoints as a trans person, whether it's a TikTok of grief or hope, I repost, engage with this content, give them a boost, duet them, stitch them, send them to your friends, talk about this. This is the last thing we shouldn't be talking about. I think that's all I have to say about this. Again, unless you guys have any thoughts, any questions, happy to stick around for a couple minutes and debrief a little bit. I am so grateful. The fucking Bad Batch. There's a Bad Batch episode coming on tonight that I've been waiting for like a month, and this is going to be my antidepressant. I'm just like, I just need to stay awake for another like 8 hours. You're welcome. And thank you for coming, you guys. And thank you for holding space for me while I did some of that processing, because this is a really difficult conversation. It's difficult to hear. It's difficult to listen to. You being here and listening to me means everything to me. It shows that you are here to be of support. So this is another way to practice allyship is, showing up when folks in marginalized communities are asking for help. Show up, mutual aid, community building. You know what I mean? Like reach out a hand. You can always, if like, social engagement is really triggering, you have some social anxiety and you go on to creators pages, look for their Cash App, look for their Venmo, especially if they're giving you a free education about how things are running in this country and support with your dollars. It could be $5. $5 buys me a nice coffee I didn't have before. You know what I mean? It is the most important because again, it affects everybody. It's everyone. It's a very small percentage of very, very bad and evil. I will say the word evil people who are sinking their claws into this awakening and into this ascension. It feels like fucking spiritual warfare. It literally does. It's like, I know that there has to be a balance between dark and light at all times, but this level of darkness should not get to exist in this plane, in this dimension that we're in anymore. It shouldn't run rampant like this. It shouldn't be legislated. We shouldn't have to worry about our children like this. We also shouldn't have to worry about our kids getting fucking shot up in schools. Like that is, that's a whole other thing we could, anyway. I'm going to go. I'm going to read and try to relax the rest of the day. Yeah, not in 2023. The fuck no. No. So funny, like they taught. So I have my moon is in Virgo. It's a full moon in Virgo today, and I don't know if you follow Datura Jones on TikTok. She's amazing. I love her so much. She's like, my son's in Virgo, and she was talking about how this full moon is just kicking the asses of everyone with a Virgo placement right now, and I'm feeling that, man. And Virgo, for just to be clear, is the great purifier. Virgo, the Virgo Pisces opposition, I mentioned this in the full moon post, is really beautiful because the Pisces is like, it's my ceiling, right? Like that's Pisces. And Virgo comes along to organize and filter and pull out the good stuff so we can create something beautiful out of the dreamy space of Pisces. I think it is unconstitutional. Sarah, she's I think it's Sarah or Samantha. I'm so bad. My apologies. I'm so bad with names. She's a lawyer, and she was talking about how particularly the drag bill, it is unconstitutional. It infringes against First Amendment rights, but they're writing it really sneakily. Like these folks know what they're doing when it comes to like getting stuff passed. And even if it does get overturned as unconstitutional, the rhetoric is still there and the hate is still there. And it's giving these monsters with guns ideas. Somebody asked me a couple lives ago about Ron DeSantis, because he's one of these Christo-fascists and he's bad, like he's bad news. And she asked me to ask the Galactics, like, is he going to become president of the United States? And I didn't see that, but I did see him poisoning the well for a lot of other places. Last thing I'm going to leave you guys with that's giving me a little bit of hope here. When I was doing Karen's Paranormal Karen's 2023 predictions, something that came through really strongly, my guys just kept saying Pride 2.0, Pride 2.0, Pride 2.0. And I think I knew at the time that there was some anti-trans legislation like on the table. I don't think I expected the avalanche that has now swept through all these different state legislatures. But Pride was a riot, and Pride was a fight for justice, and it was a fight led by a trans woman of color. I think 2 trans women of color, if I'm correct. My memory is awful. So that could be what's happening here. We have, compared to Nazi Germany, right? We have a lot more open communication happening. We have a lot more informed people, but information only takes us so far. Like we have to act too. The only reason I'm not like boots on the ground the way that I used to be, I used to march in every single fucking Black Lives Matter protest and fighting for our lives against guns. I've been there. I've done it all, is because my body can't really do it. If I have to run, I'm fucked. Like I can't, my joints can't do it. And the last protest I went to, I think really fucked me up because somebody got a piece of their face blown off and it was not great. It was not good. They wouldn't let an ambulance come through to help him out. It was fucking awful. It was the only time in my life I think I've ever screamed at a police officer at the top of my lungs. But that doesn't mean we need to stop. So yeah, I'm not a runner either. I'm on that. And when I'm at the gym, I'm on that elliptical, just gliding. I'm a glider, not a runner. And to anybody in here who is in the queer and trans and non-binary community, solidarity. Like I feel you. I'm holding space for you. I love you. We are going to get through this one way or another. Our love is stronger than their hate. I know that sounds so fucking cliche at this point, but love is stronger than hate. Like I have love wins tattooed on me for a fucking reason, because I believe that with my whole heart. Even when things get really nasty. I'm a fighter too, Kat. I have to, like, it's so fun. Like I was going through my head at the gym yesterday, like if somebody were to approach me about my gender, I'm like I'm ready to throw down. I am ready to break. If I have to break a wrist or a knuckle, I'm okay with that. I've only been I've only had 2 people ever, oh, not a little bit more than 2 people ever be actively transphobic against me, and it was fucking ridiculous. It was, to me, it was like, it was so embarrassing for them. It was so embarrassing for them, but it does hurt. Like it is like, because you start to feel like, oh, they don't see me as human. They don't see me as, it's kind of fucked up. Scorpios are dirty fighters. I have fought, I will fight. I'm not afraid of fighting, and I'm not afraid of getting hit either. I think that's what makes me a scary fighter. It's the Irish in me. I love you guys. Thank you again for holding space. I'm going to go enjoy some plant medicine and read a book. Stay safe. Okay. Love you.